Four pizza guys who came to America with nothing but a recipe. Now their chain is growing domestically, and they're taking the show on the road internationally. They're here to tell us the secret sauce. Their story is an American dream. Scoreboard loves this. Four brothers immigrating from Italy in the 1970s have turned the famous Famiglia Pizzeria into a household name, not just in the U.S., overseas as well. The Kolaj brothers opened their first pizzeria in New York City in 1986 in my old neighborhood and have been rolling in the dough, so to speak, ever since. So what is their secret to staying up in a down market? Let's ask three of the brothers who join us now. Welcome. I hope I get this right. Giorgio.
John.
See, I knew it already because I wanted to say George, John, Paul, and Ringo, but John, Giorgio, and Paul.
Of course.
All right,
Thank
Paul,
you.
I want to start with you. Tell us about how you got into it. First of all, you were born in Italy?
We were actually Kosovar Albanians who immigrated to Italy on the way to America back in 1969.
So that's where the name Kolaj with a K comes from. It's Albanian.
Absolutely.
But Italy obviously had some influence on your eating habits and your business habits.
It's had an impact in our life from then and through today.
So how did you get started in the business?
Actually, it's a good point. We escaped into Italy, and I was born in Rome in September of '69.
Literally escaped, by the way. This is when it was run by an awful dictator.
Absolutely, absolutely. The partisans came in. They killed my grandfather.
Wow.
They drove us out. Thank God, my father, who was a farmer, along with my mother, were the first non-agrarian generation, by the way. You know, he had insight. He had vision. Though he had never left Kosovo in his life, he knew that it was better in America. He had heard that it was better. So he sacrificed everything. He sold off everything that we had, headed to Italy, bought our tickets on the train. We settled in Rome, in Frosinone, small, beautiful little town just south of Rome. I was born there. He died about 7.5 weeks later. 7 months later, my mother carried on his dream and decided to come to the United States. We landed at Kennedy Airport. No family, no relatives. No.
Any money?
$283 the Catholic Charities had donated.
$283.
We repaid the loan with interest, by the way.
Wow. And how did you get from $283 to starting a business that ended up with all this?
Well, we started working obviously at a very young age, and you know, Giorgio started when he was 6 years old. I was 9 years old, and we worked through some of the great pizza shops in the Bronx, and Brooklyn, New York, and really honed our craft with some of the old-time pros.
Yeah, but Paul, tell us exactly how you've grown the business, because it's one thing to start with a little pizzeria. It's another thing to go international from that. Again, starting with $200 in your pocket.
Sure, and a lot of it stems really to our culture of really just struggling through the early years. And as John said, we worked early on in our youth, and so a lot of that really has impacted the way we run our business today. And so discipline, hard work, really taking care of the customer and that experience. And so we
family.
Family
must, I mean, the fact that you guys are still together after so many years working together says a lot.
And we started 22 years ago. In fact, we just celebrated 22 years last week. Today we have about 93 units around the world, primarily in America. Just started the international expansion.
Now, Giorgio, a fascinating thing is you've seen some downtimes before. You're getting through this downtime, this down economic time, because of the fact that a lot of the ingredients, while they've gone sky high, commodity prices we know have gone way up. You are in at least part of the process by which the ingredients get to your company.
Absolutely, David. You're right. We are, you know, we're very, almost to say even religious, very jealous about our brand and about the quality of the brand and everything that we do, from the raw material to the people that we select and
So
hire.
you got into olive oil, you got into tomatoes, you got into the things, the pasta, the stuff that goes, the ingredients. You own a part of that food chain, right?
Absolutely. Even down to the water. We even bottle and ship New York water for the distribution throughout our stores in the United States for the preparation of the dough. We have to make it as close as possible, a baseline of quality that we have in.
So does that give you, that must give you a hand up from a lot of other pizzerias around the country that have to rely on distributors of food, and they don't have any part in that part of the food chain?
Definitely does, David. Also, we've been able to piggyback off a national distributor, so we go into their buying power as well.
Now, we should mention, as we're opening the Olympics in China, you actually have some interest in China. Tell us about that.
We've consummated some recent deals with some really large franchise companies, and a great example of that is a company out that does business in China and Europe and throughout the world, SSP, and so that's a franchise program. But we're in Shanghai International Airport and Hong Kong as well. And
You're in Shanghai Airport right now.
We are, and this is just the beginning of some really great deals happening.
Now, how about your franchises? How are they doing?
They're doing
franchisees.
great. They're doing great. We have some wonderful partners. You know, just you're only as good as the company that you keep. And so we have wonderful partners. We have a national program, a national franchise program with HMS Host, which is one of the world's leading food service providers in airports primarily and in motorways. Wonderful company. We just this week signed a national agreement with National Amusements with Sherry Redstone and her wonderful organization. You know, we're the official pizza of the Yankees.
We should mention the official pizza of the Yankees. That's a pretty big plus, yeah. But the fact that you are able to provide them with ingredients, your franchisees with ingredients as well as everything else that you provide, that must be a big bonus for the franchises.
It definitely is. And again, with the purchasing power and you know, going to the source for quality, and you know, that's allowed us to be very successful.
By the way, you've got a box on the table there with the China. This is what it looks like from China. Can we get a picture of that? Put camera 2 on that. There you go. There you go. So that's what it looks like. Well, guys, congratulations.
Well, thank you, David.
By the way, you think we're going to get through this thing without much scarring, this particular downturn?
Absolutely. We're Americans, and we're very proud. Absolutely. We will bounce right back.
Yeah.
By the way, I started
100%.
delivering newspapers at the age of 6, just like you. So.
Is that right?
Yes, I did.
How did you know that I did that?
I read up a little bit. So.
Oh, man. Good to see you all. Thank you very much. Continued
Very nice to meet
success.
you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.